Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm creating these videos because been working on the network stuff for a little bit, and there's several good tutorials online, but they always seem to confuse me for a couple different reasons, and they never did quite what I wanted. I want to have a server client, so the server is separate and the client separate. I want to be able to send information from the client to the server, have it like move a character on the server, and then have the server tell the client, now the character's at this position, you can display it at this position, so that the client is pretty much just telling the server what it's doing. The client or the server does it, and then the client will get replies saying, okay, now this here. For instance, this here is the server client I have set here. I have a display out here for it, but let me open up a couple clients to show you real quick. Alright, so when you first start the server, I have it set up where it will actually create the link for the server, so it creates a room. I can join, and this here's the IP address. You can have it where people can change it, have it hard-coded inside. Right now it's hard-coded inside, but still can be changed. So when I hit join, it's going to, this client here is going to join the server, the room, with this number here. This is actually the number that it belongs to this client here. So now I can have it do like move up. So it is the client saying, I'm moving up one spot. The server's like, okay, this client here moved up one spot, it's now in the spot here. Move right one spot, same thing. I can hit get location, and this shows the location. And it's sending it back here. You can't see it because it's only showing display in debug mode, which I'll show you that in a few moments. So I can join with this client here. Again, it's a different number. Hit go location. This is 000, even though this is moved. So let's move left like 5 spots. Right? Get location here. Get location here again. It's different. That took me a little while to figure out. I actually had help on this here. And then when I hit exit the client, it's showing that that person left the room. So now if I open it up again, and join, it is a total different client. And when I, or total different player, when I hit go location, against 0. Let's close these up. Let me show this in the server or the client. Okay, so once sort this here, you notice it has an error 607. It's because you can't have two Godot projects, the debug port set to the same one, because it uses debug to communicate each other. You can change this by going to editor settings, down in debug, and then just change this. I usually keep around 607, 608. And now, when I run it, now I can start communicating. So it's showing that the client started. I can hit join, and it's showing that joined at the IP address and is connected to the server. Move up, move right. Again, the server is seeing it, but not the client. When I hit go location, it is going to tell the server, I need my location. So here go location, loads it, sent it back. And this here is the client. So I'm going to close this up. Let's close the server up too. And I'll show you how the codes work. So I'm sure that's why you're all here. That's why I'd be here. So of course it sends off a node. This here is the port. max amount of users. I don't know the max that can be connected at once. You'd have to play around with that. And we're using this here to create a player, which right now we have. It can have its own name, ID, and position. You can put whatever you want in here, maybe what type of weapons you have, or what speed you can move at, or anything like that. This here is when you connect to network, user entered is going to pull this here. And when it does this here, this ID, when the client joins a server, they send an ID. And that ID can be used to store the character in like an array here. So right now I'm using test for the name, but you can actually change that to any name. That can be like a player character name. So, and then again, when it leaves the room, same thing. This here, you can change the name if you want by having the client type in the name. I haven't implemented that yet. And this here is when the client asks for the position, it sends its PID. I have that as player ID. It takes that there. That's the same as this here, what's stored here. Same number. And I print out the position to the server, and I also send it out back. With this update is the function is running. It's sending it to this is sending it to what player it is. So the RPC by ID will send it out to a specific player. You can have it sent to all of them or just one. It depends on your circumstances. I want to be able to send it out so one player can contact or talk to the server at once instead of spamming every player, because you don't, if it's like a first person shooter, you don't want every player to know where they're at if they're nowhere near around. And then of course this here is the position, and you can also get like .xyz. And then when I was pressing up, down, right, left, this is what it's doing, is it's sending the update function the ID of the player again, because we know where to store and which direction it was. And then I change each one individually. For the client, this was of course same thing, same port. I store the ID here, so in any function I can have it, I know the ID of it, I can have it sent to the server. You can also directly send to another client if you know the client's ID, if your game needs to do that. Again, you have the enter room here, and what I have it done, when you first join, it will, of course this is the IP, and here I have this as a temporary one because I was doing some testing, but you can have it here, store temporary, and you can also change this on this, or you can just delete this here and have it join the server you want. You edit it here, and then this creates the client, and then when you enter room, I have it so it turns off that button here, prints connect to the server, it grabs the ID for later use, and then turns on the other two buttons. When you disconnect, it's going to show that join button and hide the other ones. So when I hit the get location, from the get location button, it's going to send the RPC to one is always the server. This is the function, and then the ID, so they know what the server knows who asked them. And then the server will reply back to this client, the upload location, and print it out. And then these are the 4 up and downs, of course, the ones again talk to the server directly. I'm having them all do direct location, and then the ID and up down. That's pretty much how that works. one thing I struggled with is how I have gaming network. Wherever you do a call from, it has to be back to that thing. So I have all my calls in network. If I had game, then lobby, then network, and then in the server, how I have just game and network, it'd break because it has to be a specific tree. Like I struggled for that a little bit too. But as long as you have the RPCs in the same tree structure, you should be fine. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me some comments in the comment section. And good luck, and may you guys have a great game.